Okay, we will call the meeting of the Irvington Architectural Review Board to order. As is always the case, we will start with continuations and work our way up in ascending order of application number. So we will essentially be going from the bottom and working our way up. We will call first continuation as ARB 19-24, 27 Hudson Avenue, solar panel.
Hello, how are you, sir? I was told that there was a change in shifting the panels over. I apologize for the drawings. I thought they'd be to scale. I just don't just a little while ago. I don't know if anybody has a copy.
That was the first iteration.
Yeah, we've actually, they actually did make the changes on the calculus we received last meeting. This is actually and they are the scale, but and what they did was move them together. You know, we wanted them to be,
Yeah,
you know,
in line.
yeah. And then the last problem that we encountered was the fact that there wasn't anything on the packet that showed the understanding of the fact that on pitched roofs, between the brackets that hold them up and the top of the actual module can be no higher than 6 inches. So what the last drawing they just sent actually does show that in a detail. I actually expect that we usually get it as a cut sheet from the manufacturer showing the bracket. But this gives me the same understanding that you understand that it can only be a maximum of 6 inches high, and that's what this tells me. So I'm comfortable that you have an understanding that that's what it has to be. That is, you know, the essential reason you had to come back. Okay. So as far as I'm concerned, you've satisfied what we needed to say.
Great. So going forward, we'll make sure we have a cut sheet.
Yes.
Okay.
Cut sheet with showing the bracket, showing that whole height.
Understood.
Question?
No.
What? Well, I gotta make a motion. I'll make a motion to approve. I'll make a motion to approve. Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay, we're gonna move on to new matters. We'll begin with ARB 19-34, 94 Riverview Road fence. Yes, sir. Bring it up.
Hello. I'm David Annenberg, homeowner at 94 Riverview Road.
Thank you for introducing yourself. I forgot to mention that anybody that comes up needs to speak into a microphone. And if you're not the applicant, you need to tell us who you are and who you represent.
I'm the applicant and homeowner.
Yep. So I know that at first you were looking to have the deer fence all the way around.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the building department tells me that affirms that the deer fence is not really allowed from the house. So.
Yeah, I guess part of the issue is Janet Terrace borders our property, so it technically is a front yard, but it's effectively our backyard.
Right.
I think if you guys have the pictures, I tried to take a lot to show it's kind of wooded, it's steep.
Right.
It's a bit of a slope, so we at first were considering an 8-foot deer fence, but that's what was not allowed, so now it's 75 inches, under 6.5, which I confirmed would be acceptable.
Now, what is that? Because
That is a post.
support
That's
for
the deer fence post.
Okay.
So the deer fence itself, I think the page right before, or the page right after.
I think that's the deer fence.
Yeah, that's, there should be a deer fence spec sheet though.
Oh,
The wire one?
Correct.
Yeah.
It has kind of a lattice and a matrix.
okay. I know, it's that.
Yeah.
You said there was pictures that shows the wooded area?
Yeah.
Do you have that?
I'm gonna have to look at them in the meantime to see if it's there.
This was the cut sheet of the wire fence itself. And I actually don't have extra copies of the pictures in front of me. Yes, those are right. So the idea would be to have the wood fence along the sides and a little bit up through where our neighbor property is through there.
Those are marked with letters that correspond to the areas.
Yep, on the survey.
On the main drawing.
Yeah.
Why have 3 times? Why the switch turn recorder?
In which one?
Well, you have the lattice and then you turn the
Yeah, we
corner
kind of thought the
side.
lattice gave it a little bit of a softer look. It still gave us the privacy, but a little bit of sunlight. But the area right bordering our neighbor, that's where their house is as well. There's actually already about a 6.5-foot wood fence there.
On their
which
side.
is 30 years old and falling apart. So in fact, we just want to replace that. So it still keeps the wood as kind of a continual.
It's all cedar unfinished?
Correct.
All of the...
All the wood
All the
is
wood
cedar
unfinished.
unfinished, yeah. Yeah, so the lattice didn't go all the way around the side, just give us a little bit more privacy, kind of replicate what was currently there. We, by the way, did meet with those neighbors, and they're totally fine with this plan, including the replacement of that kind of fence in the border.
The neighbors on Janet Terrace?
No, actually, the neighbors on Riverview Road at 85, I think, right here. So that purple, their house is here, so there's a little bit of extra privacy without the lattice.
So some of these pictures that show D here show there's a house that would, with their front yards facing.
There's a house here, and there's a house kind of there, all across the street.
Okay.
And most of the houses in the neighborhood have deer fences, have similar wood fences too. So we're definitely keeping with the
Almost all the
character.
houses in that area have deer fences.
Yeah, one of which I think just went up, but a similar wood fence. We're definitely keeping within the kind of character of the village neighborhood.
Well, except your, like you said, your deer fence though is kind of going to be in their front yard.
Not necessarily. In fact, I mean, the neighbors here have a fence on their front yard as well. And this is kind of the wooded area. It's already kind of blocked in a sense. It's not a front yard the way you would think of it normally. It'll be within that wooded area.
Oh, I see what you're saying, that already has the deer fence.
Yeah, that's our neighbor's deer fence. So yeah, everybody in that kind of row has similar, so we just almost want to do the same thing, just, you know.
He's right, that's it's full in the board.
Yeah.
This is the numbers, the letters correspond on the upper left.
Oh, thank you.
Do you have any questions? Let him finish reviewing.
Yeah, no problem.
Quick question here.
Yeah.
Just where this elevation drops off, where are we looking at here on the D portion? It seems to be steeper.
Yeah, that's probably right here.
Is that where you're going around this underpart?
Where we're going around, there's a little bit of a stone. Let's see if I can find that guy.
I guess what I'm saying is your fence inboard of all this plantings?
It's kind of within, it's here, I don't, the photos, we have the property line staked. I mean, you can see on the side.
I get it. No, I get it. No.
This might be one of the earlier ones.
Well, what you're saying is it's
We're
not-
definitely within the property line, it's kind of in the middle of the wooded area. So it would be front.
This is their deer fence.
That's the old wood, that's the fence that we're just gonna replace.
Cover.
A little bit more modern.
And that's the one where that line is on top?
Correct.
So, just for understanding, I can kind of see, I see a car up there, right? Like,
Yeah,
on that ridge
actually,
line?
right there, actually, right
Exactly.
there, that's a stake, that's the property line. So
Oh, I see that, I see that.
Like a foot or so within that, up here,
Got it.
just right around here was a bit of a dip, and kind of a, maybe no.
But you're up on this ridge.
Correct.
You're up here. You're
Correct.
not in front of this. I got it.
Yeah,
So what you're saying
this,
is,
this is the road, so there's still.
no, I know, there's 10 feet, but I guess what I'm saying is,
It's
your
back.
cover from the road to there is denser on the interior,
Correct.
so.
It's
and if
maybe
you
20
kept-
feet there, 10 feet there, and then what's
No, I
happening.
get it.
Yeah, it's kind of in the middle there, but
Okay.
tilted more this way, that's what.
All right.
Oh, that's got to stick in here.
Yeah, those are yours. I do have copies of yours, so I didn't take them.
There's the package. Okay. Any questions?
Are there any gates specified anywhere?
yes.
There's a 6-foot gate.
There's 2 gates. So in the area we have
These two.
labeled A, that's kind of where the garage is, will be a single gate.
Yeah,
I think that's 4 feet wide.
this one.
And then over here with B, it'll be kind of a double gate, so 2 3-foot doors for like lawn care equipment.
And they're going to be the same height as the rest of the
Correct.
fences.
Yeah, with black hardware. Yeah, so it'll be the same style as the rest of the fence with the, on that area, the 4-foot solid and the 2-foot lattice.
Okay, they are coming in board of that. Okay. All right.
Anything else? Okay. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion approved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Hold on to this. Yeah, you can take that.
Recycle.
Okay.
What you need to do now is, tomorrow sometime, call the building department and ask them if they process the paperwork. It may take a day or 2 to do that.
Okay.
Once they do, you're good to go.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Moving on to ARB 19-35, slightly up the road, Riverview Road, 198. And
Across
also,
the street.
We're just
oh, is
across
this
the
what's
street.
still up the road?
The numbers are crazy.
Do you want me to stay, or am I allowed to go?
No, you're good.
Do you want me to stay? I'm just gonna stay.
Well, you did a good job, maybe we can use it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, guys. I'm good.
Do you have any pictures of the file that I should be pulling out?
I put pictures in there someplace.
Well, this is the only one we have. It's not a good transpose for it.
Oh,
Is this just a replacement of what's there?
no, this is my idea. This is
Uh-oh.
just, this is just a straight line fence. That's all, just like from point A to point B. So that the people that work on this side of my property, for this house, the landscapers, the pool guy, all of those people, don't dump on my property, which I've asked them to do, the neighbors have asked them to do, I've called the police, I spoke to them, but nobody really wants to not stop dumping in my backyard.
I had an issue like that once.
So I thought if I put a straight line fence to where my property ends, so I staked it to see how far back I go before I guess you hit Abbott House, that if I did that, then they'd really have to go all the way around the fence, and maybe that would deter them. I put up a no trespassing sign, somebody took it down. This is kind of my last.
Okay, so,
There's no other fence on the property, it's just,
No, I have a fence around my property, but it doesn't go all the
it
way
doesn't
back.
make its way to, oh, I see it now.
You know,
So
my
it stops
property
at your
goes
deck.
back further, so there's woods back there, and then eventually it goes into Abbott House. So I think people think, oh, there's just woods back here, so I'll put whatever.
Why not connect the dots?
Hmm?
Why not connect the dots? Like just looking at the site plan, what, the question would be, this is your existing fence on this side?
No, no, I have
That's
no
their
fence.
existing fence?
I have,
Where, then where's your fence?
oh, wait, why,
Or is that the neighbor's?
that's just the name, there's no fence.
You have a fence or you don't have a fence?
I have a fence that goes around my house.
You have a fence inboard, like
Yes.
tighter to your property line?
Yes,
This is your property line?
much tighter to my
Okay,
property
I got you.
line, much tighter than my
this is
property.
the front of your house?
That's the front of my house.
Because I don't know about you,
So
I would dump
no,
right
my
there.
property line at all. So I'm just gonna have this straight line fence that just runs to the end of my property. I don't wanna spend the money, frankly, to go all through the woods. I just want that straight line so that they know this is my property and it's not Abbott House's property, really is what I think they're thinking. which at the end of the day, I mean, you really shouldn't be dumping
Yeah, sure.
stuff anyplace. It's not your property, it's somebody else's property, but it's my property. You know
Sure.
what I mean?
No, I get it.
Because there's woods back there, I just think people think I can,
What are they dumping? Leaves, cuttings, clippings, like what?
all of that.
I'm just saying,
Pool
like, I
guy
don't-
started to drain the pool water
Next chlorine.
back there. I was, you know, and I like wouldn't have known it till I happened to be home that afternoon. And I heard a noise, so I went in the backyard and I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Oh, you know, it's okay because I'm just back behind." I said, "No, that's my property."
What do the neighbors say?
They'd have no idea that, you know, and they'd talk to the people and say, "Please stop doing it," but they don't stop. I thought this would be like an easy solution, to tell you the truth, but maybe.
Can you show me where's existing and where put fence in?
So my fence just goes really around my
Oh, I see.
house
Okay,
and just side to side.
so you're proposing all the way,
No, I'm just proposing the street right there,
oh, all the way back there?
just there,
Okay,
just there.
all right. So nobody can see that,
No,
except the roof
except,
guy.
Except those who want to.
and the pool guy.
Okay.
I'm just trying to see where this is in relationship. So this deer fence here?
That's not mine, that's
No, I
mine.
know.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm just trying to understand where it is.
So that's their house, that's my house.
Right, somewhere in between here,
Yeah.
not that. I saw a stake, so that's their deer fence somewhere over here?
That's, their deer fence is here, really.
Okay,
Yeah, that's like here. And I would put this here, parallel to it.
so they're going past their fence.
Oh,
Get to your
yeah.
fence.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Seems-
Yeah.
I don't know, it seems like a waste of money to you either way, because I can just dump in between. All the same watches.
It's less than
Oh,
the
I see.
thousands of dollars that we've spent to clear out that area to
Yeah.
get rid of all the debris that other
We
people
did.
have dumped on.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's,
I mean, it really used to be a mess with the woods, so we cleaned it up. You know, and I have to go back there like periodically to get rid of like, you know, kids go back there and I have to get rid of stuff, right? But that's not really what's bothering me. It's the landscapers and it's the pool guy.
Who obviously, like you say, have been told not to do it, they continue to do it.
Right. Right.
I mean, I don't think it's visually obtrusive in any way, worse than another fence. I just don't, I feel like you're spending money that's still not gonna solve your problem, but that's just me.
But I think if there's that fence there and they would have to literally walk around the fence to go to get to the woods, I don't think they would do it.
Well,
Or
I
they'd
hope
go,
to find out.
or they'd go further back and they would dump on Abbott House property.
Probably.
And that's a different
Which is,
problem.
yeah, not a wood, it's yours.
I just think, I would say, as a solution, if they're gonna do that one way or another, I think you really have to connect the dots, but I know you don't wanna spend the money to connect the dots, to like move down to their fence to protect the property line, but it's a lot of money, so.
Yeah, it is.
That's what I'm saying, like,
It is.
I hope that's enough to deter people, that's all.
I
have
hope
no.
it- I mean, I do too.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve?
Aye.
Second? Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. good to go.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We hope not to see you again for the rest of the
I hope so too. Thank you.
Yep. We will now move on to,
They're not here.
they're not here?
No. I don't think
It's
so.
fall. ARB 19-36, 28 North Dutcher Street, windows. Okay, put that aside, call it again. We'll go on to the next one. ARB 19-37, 85 Hamilton Road, also windows.
guys. My name is John Scarelli, representing the owners for the proposed application. Yes, sir. So basically, the proposed work is the owners would like to, demolish their existing kitchen, and they're going to put a new kitchen in the same location. There's going to be some walls and an island that gets removed, and some structural work to open up the space between the kitchen and the living room. And also, they're looking to replace the windows throughout the house, and they're also looking to replace a door that's currently an in-swing door from the living room to their deck with a slider. All of the openings on the outside of the house are staying the same, but the one kind of an aesthetic change on the front side of the house is right now, this is where the kitchen is, and they have they're small casement windows, and they want to keep the same opening but go with a slider window, so it's basically full glazing on each section, so it's not 4 separate sections of glazing, it's just 2. And the same idea on this window, instead of it's 2 separate sliders, but they want to go with one larger slider, so it's full glazing and full glazing, all within the same opening. So there's not going to be any changes to the siding, it's really just changes to the actual types of window on the front side. And then on the back side of the house...
So they're not gonna touch that that window?
This window is going to be the exact same, it's going to be a new window, but it's going to be the exact same style slider window in that opening. And then on the back side of the house, so this doorway right now is a fixed panel with an in-swing door. And again, they're going to keep the same opening size, but now it's going to be a sliding glass door. And that cut sheet's at the end of the packet. And the types of windows are going to be Anderson 200 series with white trim on the exterior and white finish on the inside. Really the big aesthetic changes are those 2 front windows and then this back rear slider.
Anything changing to the finish on the facade? Like are they repainting, residing, anything like that?
Not at this time. Yeah, right now it's really the kitchen work and again the windows replaced. So yeah, there's no proposed work at the moment to do any sort of changes to the siding.
I don't think, normally, what we didn't have and what I was going to object to was the fact that in the application drawings, we see nothing in the way of elevations. I mean,
Okay.
the photos are now telling us, what we're looking at, but in the future, if you could make sure there's some sort of elevation
Okay.
of any of the affected areas.
Yeah.
Preferably, we like all 4 elevations, but,
Okay.
certainly at the very minimum, the affected areas.
Ones that are changing. Yeah. Okay.
Even if things are like designed to be done, you have to make the assumption you have no idea what the house looks like.
Okay. Yeah.
Even with pictures one way or another.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm going to include this as part of the package.
Okay.
Because it's what we've looked at and what we've used to make a determination of whether we're going to approve the application or not. So I will include this.
Okay.
You're missing that rear view.
Yeah.
You want to take those pictures as well? I had some extra pictures.
Yeah,
This is
just
your view.
because.
So yeah, so it's this window. Right now it's an in-swing with a fixed panel,
Right.
and they want to do a sliding glass door in the same opening.
This is the one you were talking about? Yeah. Okay. I'll include it as part of the package. Anybody, any questions? No. Questions? Okay. We have a motion to approve.
Aye.
Second? All in favor?
Okay, thank you very
Oh,
much.
I should say, approve the application as amended, because this is amending the application.
That's going into it. Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Have a good night.
thank you.
We'll call ARB 19-38, 15 Hudson Avenue.
Good evening.
How you doing?
Good. Peter Spagnola, I'm here for the applicant, Catherine Spagnola, who is my mother. And I also live in the property. I rent it. We're looking, there's an enclosed porch right now. It's possible that shouldn't have the sides on it, according to the building inspector. So we propose taking that down, putting 2 columns in the front, and then putting a facade, a stone facade on the front of the building, just on the first floor.
Okay, so that facade is not only going to be underneath the eave, but it's going to also come over here.
And we would keep the,
The same roof, also
The same
the
roof.
same roofing material?
we're trying to work within a budget, so.
The columns are round.
That was what was proposed, yeah.
Look, it's not that.
No, right now I think it would be like that, but the engineer was saying that we should take that off and just make them round columns.
And that and the trim is going to be white?
Are you doing anything to the rest of the house? Any change to the facade
Not
anywhere
right
else?
now.
It's-
I mean, hopefully
it's from
in a year.
there down?
Correct. So the second floor we're just keeping, hopefully next year we'll be here for siding. It's an older house, it's about 100 years old, but it's just it's 24 by like 40, and it's kind of bland, doesn't have any charm to it. So we want to finish it a little bit, at least give it some sort of.
Well, the first comment I would make, just the first comment Randy made, I would do square columns.
You would go with the square?
Yeah, just, it's not an engineering thing. Whatever's inside is going to be regular lumber and it's going to be clad in something else. Just around it isn't appropriate. So I would do a square column. That's easy.
If we did the square, what he had mentioned, if we did square, to possibly put the stone on the, just keep
I
it.
wouldn't do it. Because my next comment's going to be, if you're working within a budget,
Well, I can save some money too.
yeah, well, I would just say,
Take that down as long as it.
I would just say like this is a personal opinion thing, so just dressing just the lower part of the facade.
Right.
And not, like, is basically saying, you know, we're only putting like a little bit of money here. When in all actuality, I'd rather see like just clean siding. I'd rather have everything look the same unless you're gonna take stone all over the place. Yeah, and then that becomes super cost prohibitive. So
Right.
my thought would be, I know why you're doing it. You're cutting it back and you don't have a finish behind you, so you're like, let's dress up this part. So,
Well, yeah, the whole bottom.
well, I guess what I was gonna ask is, if you're not replacing the window to the left of it, and presumably there's a wall inside, right, where your new front door is gonna be.
It's actually, it's already cut out.
It's already, look, see, someone enclosed, like you said, the building part, someone enclosed a porch that they weren't supposed to do back in the
Most
day.
likely, not about 60 years ago.
So I would contend that actually, and this might be a cost savings till you do everything, I would just redo under the porch. Like just make a statement, leave the siding on the other side. Like, because
Is the siding in good shape on that? I mean,
no, it's not.
None of it
But
probably is.
no, I know in your mind, you're like, yeah, I want to redo everything, but I'm like, just focus on this part. And I guess what I would say is, if I was just looking at it, I was just trying to dress stuff up. This is like trying to help. This is not
Right.
like I would basically just put the stone, like, from here to here.
See, that area
And leave
would be
that side.
visible though.
Well, no, it's not going to be, once you're there and you have columns, and it's your front door, like, it's important. See, here's the thing that bugs me. See this here?
Right.
It's like, I just see that, like, it's not real. That stone's not holding anything up.
Oh,
No, it's purely like being a architectural snob. Like, I'm basically saying, like, that stone's just slapped on the building. It's not holding up. It's like
There's
minimize
a
it.
depth to it.
Yeah. So like,
this would be 4 inches, I'm not sure.
no, you can do it that way, but you're going to put it right on the facade that exists, and until you like change all these other details around it, it seems a little false. So like, I guess what I'm saying is, I think it would look better if it was just focused at the front door and the side of the stage. That being said, like, this is not uncommon in other places. Like, I know why you're suggesting.
Yeah, the street's a little bit different than a lot of other streets in Irvington too. It's not,
I'm not, this is not unusual to see. I'm just saying, like, this is where I'm saying, like, in my opinion, what I would do. Like, that's what I'm suggesting.
and if you were going stone, you did one.
Well, no, you
have
can't,
to go
you
by
can't,
it.
you can't really stop it. That's the thing. Is like,
You have to
it's
go
a
all the
slippery
way.
slope, and that's why I would say, like, if I'm doing a budget, and I'm looking at it, and stone is 4x to siding, I would just do cleaner siding. I think it just freshens it up and keeps it cleaner. Like, that's my thing. I understand why you're suggesting it, and that's why I'm saying, like, I would do this section in stone, and then when you have the budget to do it, then you clean everything up. Now the whole building's fresh. This corner doesn't look fake, and your front door is really dressed up in stone.
And you, and then you keep that siding, brings you everything.
Yeah, I would take your wall that's your existing front door. So this is going to be my last question too, is on the inside. So what's your front door on the inside look like?
It is actually like a storm door right now. It'll be.
So what are you gonna do?
You're
You're gonna grab that door and move it
something a
forward?
little bit better.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I
But
think.
it's right behind it.
Got it. It's like, there's a door and a door, and that's just like your my room is your garden or whatever, like, I get it. So, my comment would be, I would just say, square columns and stone here, I'm good with that. So, but that's not what me. That's what I opine on it.
What about like the base on the column, and the header here, and, because it just looks like the roof and the gutter kind of hanging out there.
The column is gonna sit on a new, if I'm not mistaken, a new deck. Yeah, it is. But I agree, there's nothing, no architectural details there showing, it just doesn't come down. There's usually a footing, just, even if it's decorative, just something there.
I'm sure we'll put something.
Yeah.
Right now,
That's
when we open
why,
it up, there's probably nothing there. Yeah.
that's why we're suggesting, like, we make it square instead of round.
Right.
Square is cheaper. And like, you're gonna have piece of trim around the bottom, piece of trim around the top, because the guy's not gonna cut it in clean.
Right.
So like, you'll have something to it more than, like, I would just suggest, like,
I think it's important to it as it's to parents.
yeah, no, look, it's just a,
Sometimes there can be too much stone, I get it, and then it does look like it's.
yeah, I just think it's.
Let's do this then. Let's continue the application, and when you come back, you'll have made the decision on this and the columns, and then we can make a decision in 2 weeks based on that.
You know, what Randy says about like showing trim, some sort of trim on the columns themselves, just suggesting something.
If this is going to be redone, they can easily do that. When I say
Does he have to do it on there, or?
he should, because I'm going to sign off on this. So the less that I have to mark up that you're going to have to, abide by is better.
You can, I mean, as simple as like, I can put white out this thing, and I can draw a cap on here, and I can write 4-inch square base.
So if we don't go all across, I don't know if we will, but there are the footings which would come off too.
You wouldn't need that.
Sign the footings into the other.
Exactly.
Well, see what the architect says.
But if we want to keep it the way that is,
I don't think it's a deal breaker, but you need more detail. And the other thing I do is show the door that you're going to use on the front door, because right now it looks like a blank slab. So if the columns have some detail, the door has some detail, you can advise on it.
And somewhere on the drawing, have we put what that door is, what brand, what model.
Right, that's even better than just bringing a cut sheet.
Yeah.
Like, you can just be like, here's a picture, here's a door, Simpson Doors, for example, just, it's door number 2020. Like, great, 4 panels, love it, all day. So,
All right.
yeah, you can limit the drawing.
So also speak to the building department, speak to Ed, and tell him, these are the changes that they requested. I'm gonna go, and because you'll have to have them in a week before. So you need to make decisions, within the next few days, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the square's fine, the whole thing I just gotta see, because the siding is kind of beaten up.
Yeah, no, I get, and that's what I was saying, like, too, it's, you're also like, you're putting a Band-Aid when you want to do other stuff, and that's why I'm saying, like, you don't need a bigger Band-Aid. Like, what you want to do is really finish the rest of the facade better. So I'd say, I'd save the cash.
Now, something with the siding, if the front could be different than the side or not usually.
No.
So I can't do part without,
No.
see, it's gonna be a slippery slope, because I've got to do,
No, that's why I'm saying,
the siding, I have to do windows.
but that's why I'm making a suggestion to you is, if you get that stone across the whole front facade approved,
Right.
and then you change all the siding and everything, with doors and everything, they're not the same. Like, it's not gonna stop you from getting anything approved. Let's reapprove the stone, we'll approve whatever you suggest on the siding, as long as we think it's appropriate.
Right.
So, like, if you just get that one part, like, you're not gonna get siding and then a different siding, that'll never happen. So, like, it's just a suggestion to focus on that one area, and I wouldn't drag a footing all the way around for that little portion, it seems like. But if you did bring in, like, pictures like this, rather than drawing it and say, this is the column I'm gonna copy, we'd be like, oh,
Okay.
it might be
That's
easier.
yours,
Yeah. All right.
But that was for the stone, right? Wasn't that the?
Yeah, just an example.
Yep.
Okay. And you're saying even if you did your siding on the side, you wouldn't go all the way across the front, it just looks kind of
And that's what I'm
trying
saying,
to something it's not.
exactly. Like, I personally would tell you, you're siding the whole house, call it a day. That's what I did.
And not even do the
I wouldn't do
stone.
this. It's not I know why you're trying to dress it up, I just wouldn't do it. That's just me. I do it, not highlights or something like that, and just a nice clean.
Yeah, it's tough to do.
No, I'm sure, but that's the thing, was we don't know what it looks like yet.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying.
Okay, thank you.
We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks.
Obviously, I don't need to make the second call on 19-36, 28 North Dutcher. Windows, not here. Okay. Anybody?
When they do come back, do we need to see the side elevation because they're pointing out windows on the side? Does it matter?
Well, that's something that, that we should have had.
I think similar to the other one, if there's like,
I mean, if they
it's
come
in
in,
keeping in a photo, I'm not gonna argue about it, I'm more concerned about the street facade.
I mean, the main thing is that they're looking to replicate what the other side of the building looks like, which is not their house.
I don't think the photo showed that.
No.
I think that was a, alright,
I actually do.
is it really? Oh yeah, it is different.
Hmm.
Oh, you know what though?
The arch?
That's
Yeah,
a-
that's an emphatic ventilation, I guess. Strange.
Have a look, it's deeper.
Yeah.
I bet you these are the same windows, but you could remove that thing off, and I bet that's the same behind it. But they don't own that.
Right.
They're on the other side.
Right. All right. Anything else new, old business, anything to discuss? Are we available in 2 weeks?
2?
26th, I guess? Yeah, 26th.
I am not.
All right, just, I will send out the normal email anyway, just remind me.
I apologize, my wife booked a last minute trip.
It's a,
I did not plan for it.
it is summertime, so. All right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So,
Second.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.